All right, so I'm just doing an impromptu stream here. I actually just got off of, I was in the backyard and I was pruning some of my trees and bushes and things like that. And I decided to just pop on. I'm trying to see like what a better time is for my streams. Usually I do them Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific, but I'm thinking about changing that into sometime during the day. And I want to see if, just popping on, see what the kind of stream traffic might be like when I'm popping on like this. So I've got an iPad Pro here. You can see it on the screen. I've got a pencil. So what I'm going to do is just start messing with Fresco. I'm just going to do some drawing, some painting, whatever kind of happens. I really like Fresco a lot. It's pretty much the #1 reason that I bought an iPad. I used to do a lot of acrylic work and charcoal and watercolors and things like that. And, Fresco does fulfill all those needs for me. So I grabbed some of these Keith Haring brushes the other day that Adobe makes available for free since, I don't know, like 4 or 5 days ago. And I really like some of them. So I think I'm going to start off using some of these just to create the background. So when I use Fresco, like I don't usually use like a ton of layers inside of Fresco, especially if I'm doing painting type stuff. But we'll see. I'm trying to remember what I was using the other day because it worked out pretty good. Just looking through all these brushes. Let's just go with a flat gritty. Sounds pretty good. I'm going to make my brush size pretty big because I'm messing with the background here. And let's see. Yeah, something like this is pretty nice. So these brushes are really nice. The ones that I just picked up here. The Keith Haring brushes. And there's a lot of them. And you can see they work like really, really nicely. They have a really nice texture to them. They blend really nicely and so forth. So I'm just going to go ahead and draw out some background stuff of the sky here. And my idea for this is I'm probably going to draw a tree because I just got out of the backyard pruning trees. So it just kind of makes sense. One thing too, like I do like Fresco, how you can sort of just do some like really quick stuff with it. You don't have to put a lot of thought in it. You can just paint and have fun with it. And, it just goes, right? Oops. One of the best things about Fresco is that you can undo anything that you mistakenly do here, right? And also, you'll notice I have on, I can preview my brush shape and size as I kind of go through here. So when my pencil touches the surface of my tablet, you can see it right there. I like to see that. I know some people don't, but I like the preview. I think it works out pretty good. Yeah, these brushes, I don't know. They're just nice and thick. And they're good to work with for some of the stuff that I usually do inside of Fresco anyway. That green is way too green for what I actually would want for this particular painting here. So one of the neat things is as you go over things like this, you know, I get a little of that bright green peeking out, right? Even though I'm doing, you know, I'm putting the dark green over there, which is nice. It gives it a little extra dimension that wouldn't be there otherwise. All right, so there's my background here. I'll probably create a new layer for the tree itself. And let's see. I don't know what kind of brush I want to use for this. Probably not one of these, though I do like them very much. It's good for the background. I do a lot of charcoal type stuff, so you know, maybe doing something like that would make sense. I really like the charcoal brushes inside of Fresco. And maybe just make this like super dark. So make this tree in silhouette, right? And it's looking pretty good from what I see. Not too bad. Maybe add a little bit more color to that. Yeah. And just sort of build up, right? So, you know, I tend not to sketch things out first before I begin doing stuff like this. I just kind of do it and see how it evolves. Maybe make it a little darker. Yeah. Even more dark. There we go. Yeah, I remember I used to have this tree in the yard. Actually, there were a few trees when I was growing up. And a lot of the trees would have, you know, sort of like a, you know, like a gnarled hole in their trunk. And like different types of creatures would live in them, like little frogs, things like that. Add some highlight to this here. The thing is, this is definitely different. So I'm usually, you know, I've been streaming stuff on using Adobe Animate and After Effects and stuff like that. So this is different because usually in those streams I'll be, you know, mentioning, just talking through things more like a tutorial. If you don't know, I do a lot of tutorials on Animate for LinkedIn Learning, lynda.com, and you know, I've done tutorials for the Animate team and for Adobe in general in the past. And I teach full-time. I'm faculty at the University of Colorado Boulder. So I'm used to just like, you know, talking as I go through a software demonstration or anything like that. But this is a bit more, you know, it's a bit more just kind of me playing. So maybe not as much talking, but I do find it difficult to separate myself from that sort of role, especially if there's a camera on and there's a microphone in front of me. It's different. All right. Let's go back. I like these brushes so much. Let's go back to those for the leaves. Let's choose this one. I haven't used any of these spray paint ones yet. Just see how it looks first. I can always undo, right? I don't know. It does look like spray paint, which, you know, sometimes the names of brushes aren't exactly what you get, right? But in this case, it pretty much is. Yeah, let's use this one right here. This is marker square. So I'll lay down a bit of the foliage here. As mentioned, you know, I did just prune my trees. So I don't know. I mean, I guess this one doesn't really need pruning. But yeah. So let's see. I got a couple people on. So hello. I know I'm going up against the Adobe Live stuff here. And also, apparently Apple's got some sort of event going on a little bit. But I thought it'd be fun to jump on and just do one of these. So again, I do like to layer stuff. And not necessarily with the layers mechanism in Fresco here, but more just layering stuff in the same layer, right? Just gonna make this darker and darker. And, you know, let's create a new layer. And, of course, one of the things that's cool about Fresco that you can't do with, you know, traditional media is you can apply blend modes to different layers. You can change the opacity of different layers and so forth. So take full advantage of that. And what I'm going to try to do with these darker strokes is sort of match up with the branching that I have here for the tree itself. And these particular brushes are, you know, they can be a bit unrefined, but I kind of like the kind of dirty, blocky nature to some of them. All right. So that's a nice little tree. I don't know. I am thinking of maybe doing some more overlay work. And sometimes I do that with watercolors. So what's pretty cool about this too is that you can, of course, combine different media. So I've been using these pixel-based brushes, but I can always swatch over to my watercolor or oil live brushes and just kind of mess around with that, right? So make this pretty big. It's going to be a bit of an overlay here. So using something like this, let's bring that up a bit. You know, I can go ahead and actually create some interesting effects on the entire thing just by using these watercolor brushes. And then, of course, changing my blend modes. just to give it like a little more softness, dimension, darkness, whatever you're looking for. You know, some of this stuff can really go far into, you know, just adding some more personality to what you're actually doing, right? So wet spatter, I like quite a bit. I'm just going to make that completely black. Just bump that up as far as I can go. Let's just put a spatter over everything here. And of course, you can always bring in additional things in here too, like other images and so forth. I've been playing a lot with, what are they? Oh. See, I've got a message here. Sorry, I was a little bit lost. I haven't been tracking the messages. Hey, Celia. How are you today? Yeah, using this on black, I'm not sure if that was the best choice. That is pretty cool, though. Let's see what else we can get out of this. See, it's fun to just kind of play around. I don't know, I kind of like that. It almost looks like, you know, bleach, right? So like when you used to bleach, I never bleached my jeans, but a lot of people did some time ago. Another thing I like that I just kind of like found, because I wasn't quite aware of it, is this ruler. So I like to use the ruler to do, of course, like geometric lines and so forth. Since we're talking about pruning the trees, I'm going to bring up a charcoal brush here. I'm going to prune my trees. That's a bit extreme right there. Let's undo that. Take that flow down. That's better. That's more what I'm looking for. Just pruning those branches. Why not prune the roots too, right? Hello, Ashwin. Hope you're doing well today. Thanks for joining. So this is one thing that I like to kind of combine certain things, right? And I like the ability to do these straight lines. I think it's pretty nice that they added this feature. Because when it comes to drawing and sketching and things like this, I'm generally not a realist. I'm more compositional. I just like to play with stuff, right? And this gives me a number of things to play with. Let's see, how long has this been going on for? I'm not even sure how long I've been streaming for here. My browser window would cooperate. It's been about 20 minutes, so that's pretty good. Because, I mean, I like using I like using a lot of stuff. But I haven't actually done a stream using Fresco yet, even though I do use it quite a bit. All right, so I'm not going to leave these lines as distinct as they are. I'm going to use that same sort of thing here, take down the opacity or, change the blend mode just to make it a little more interesting. Screen might work. A lot of these might work. Linear dodge might work. Right there. It's looking pretty good. I do not like, however, that the tree is in the center, right? I don't like that. I like to have a bit more variance to the stuff that I'm working on. I would not compose a photo with a tree like that, so I'm not going to draw one like that either, although I did. So what can we do about that? Gosh, I don't know. I mean, we can move this around, of course. So if I go ahead and, select some of these and shift them, but I could also crop this guy out. So, oops, that's not what I want. I don't know. I guess it's okay. It's a square image, so. Anyhow, I think it's done. I'm going to go ahead and share this on Behance in a few moments. Thanks, everyone, for joining. And, yeah, I'll be streaming again Thursday evening. I'm going to have a discussion with Heather Tobin. It should be interesting. It's going to be more of a discussion than using software, so something a little different. That's Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific.